Welcome to another book haul book video. This book haul is from the Book Barn in Niantic, Connecticut. We went there earlier today, Saturday, September 19, 2015. Had a great time, had a really great lunch, some ice cream, and if you're familiar with the Book Barn in Niantic, Connecticut, there's several stores all related. It's more like a book compound. It's really a unique place, thousands and thousands of books in different locations. There's some downtown locations, there's the main book barn, all owned by the same guy, and it's really quite a treat to go there. So this is what I picked up today. All of the paperbacks, which I'm going to go through first, were $1 each. So let's see here, the Oxbow Incident. Now this book I have, but it was in such great shape and it was only $1, so I got it. By the way, all the book bags are courtesy of me. I put everything I can in a book bag. They don't come like this, not usually. This book is a very strange book. The cover is very weird. Looked it up on Amazon while I was there, and it had some good reviews. Couldn't really get a grip on what the book was about by flipping through the pages. It's just kind of odd. But for $1, I didn't want to leave it behind. What if it's good? So, and it was in pretty good shape. So I figured, well, I'll just get it. Elmer Kelton Buffalo Wagons. I had just read a book by him called Slaughter, which is pretty good. Overall, he's a good writer. The book Slaughter I thought was a little bit pro-South, made the Northerners look kind of stupid and the Southerners look kind of honorable. It was a little bit weird, but it was a good story. He's a good writer. This book I have, but this will be my reading copy. Even though it's good enough to save on its own, it's in really fine shape. Rules by Harry Combs. This book I read, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I have it in hardcover, I have another paperback. This is a really fantastic book. Fantastic being in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, the eye of the reader. Some people love this book, some people haven't. I thought this was one of the best books I ever read. Really memorable story, memorable characters. Kind of book when you're finished you look around for someone to talk to about it and there's just no one around, so you kind of feel like, wow, man, I just read this incredible book and there's no one to tell. So I thought that was a really good book. Definitely for $1 that was worth it. It has a fold out cover, really good shape. So now this here is a vintage Cavalry Scout by D. Brown. Looked interesting, and D. Brown's a good writer. This obviously old vintage copy. It was in great shape. I'm ashamed to leave it behind, so I picked that up. Now this next one is kind of weird. I'll probably never read it. Kung Fu, David Carradine, the TV show. Again, $1, and it wasn't really nice. Really nothing wrong with it. I just thought it would kind of be a weird thing to have. Cool item, so I picked that up. The Oregon Trail by Francis Parkman. I have this book in various editions. I actually have also this one already, but it was in such fine shape. Again, for $1, I'm not going to haggle too much. I just figure I hate to leave it behind, so I picked that up. Next, The Captive Witch, Dale Van Every. This looked kind of interesting. He's written a few novels that I have. I sadly have not read any of them yet. I'm hoping that they're good. They get pretty good to average reviews. It depends on the reader. Some people think the books are really good. Others don't care for them so much. But it looked interesting, and the title is kind of goofy, The Captive Witch, but it's not really a witch. Silly title, but I think the book will be good. A Creek Called Wounded Knee. This book I have, the copy I have isn't in the best of shape. So I picked this up. Actually, that little spot that's missing there in the front wasn't missing when I purchased it. It had a sticker on it with the price, which I don't know why they do that, because the stickers are hard to get off, and everything is $1, so why mark it $1? It's pretty much just known, people there know everything is $1, all the paperbacks. But anyway, when I was taking that, all the other books I had no trouble with, but this one, it peeled off that part of the cover. So if I ever see this book again in fine shape, I will get it if the price is right. But it's not terrible. The spine's great. It looks like it. I don't even know if it's been read. Too bad about that sticker, but still worth it. This book here, Johnny Christmas, kind of a weird name for a book. Takes place in the mid-1840s. It's compared to, on the front blurb here, to A.B. Guthrie's The Big Sky, and that's one of my favorite books ever. So when I see that, I'm always very curious, is it really that good? Looked it up on the internet, had some nice reviews. So I figured, $1, I'm not going to leave without it. This book, Buffalo Nickel, by C.W. Smith. Now, I read this book earlier in the year, like last winter. This was an excellent book, right up there with like The Big Sky and Rules by Harry Combs that I looked at before. Again, excellent is in the eye of the reader, but for me, this book really left, imprinted itself in my head. I do want to read this book again. It was really awesome. I love the story, love the characters. Can't say enough about it. So, and when I saw it there in pretty great shape, I took that for sure. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I think this speaks for itself. There's a little photo section inside. It seemed like a nice vintage book. Good shape, and it's not a novel. It's actually the screenplay. So you're reading the dialogue. I'll probably never read it, but it's just nice to have. The movie's good. Okay, another movie, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and this is a screenplay, actually novelization by James Warner Bella, and he wrote some stories that also starred John Wayne, who's on the cover here with Jimmy Stewart. And I never saw the movie, sadly, but it was a nice vintage book, and I figured I'll get it rather than cry about it afterwards. Western Stories. This is a best of short stories. I actually have this book. It's in really fine shape, and this book, it's in good shape. It's not as fine as the other copy I have, so I figure I'll read this one and save the other one. It seems like some easy reading on some nights when I don't want to get involved in something long, just to read a short story. Okay, Apache Half-Breed. I wasn't sure about this book, but for $1, I just figured, I'm not going to think about it too much. Like the cover, I skimmed through it, didn't look too bad. Glenn Blackburn, the name, I feel like I know that name from somewhere, but I'm not sure where right now. Haven't had the chance to look it up yet. But whether I've heard of him or not, again, it didn't look too bad. And so I figured, nice copy, nice cover, good shape, I'm going to get it. Okay, now let's go on to this stack here. The Oregon Trail. One of my favorite books of all time. This is a really great book. I don't know what else to say about it. If you want to read about life in the mid-1840s, a white guy, Francis Parkman from Boston, goes out west, lives with the Sioux for a while, experiences the kind of life that we'll never get a chance to experience today. Really fantastic. And this is a cute little book. I actually have this book, but it was cheap. It was $4 for this copy, and it was fine condition. And so this will be my reading copy sadly, or not sadly, I have maybe half a dozen reading copies. I'm kind of crazy. I buy books over again. I don't know why. I can't stop. But when I see it in the store and it's in really nice shape, I just feel terrible leaving it. And maybe one day, and this may never happen, but it'd be really cool if I ever do start a bookstore. Retirement years, I'll have a lot of books, good books to sell. Not that I think I will ever do that. I would love to have a bookstore, but I don't know if I could part with my books. I might just have to get more books. The Hunting of the Buffalo by E. Douglas Branch. I have quite a few books about buffalo, hunting buffalo, and this book, I actually thought that I had it. I have a list of all my books and that I always bring with me, and I didn't see it listed. I thought maybe I, for some reason, didn't list it. So when I came home, I looked, and it wasn't a mistake. I didn't list it because I didn't have it. But being that I have several other books on hunting buffalo, I kind of thought that I had it, but I was wrong, and so I'm glad that I got it. It was $4, and I'm glad I have that one. Now this is an interesting book, Dance Me Outside, W.P. Kinsella. He wrote also some baseball stories. One of them starred Kevin Costner, and gee man, the name is just escaping me at the moment, but it's a famous baseball movie with Kevin Costner. Dance Me Outside was made into a movie based on short stories by Kinsella. And it was also a series, The Res, which is I think is pretty good. Although the stories are different than the movie and the TV series, and that TV series is already getting close to 20 years old. And this the movie also I guess is about 20 years old now too. But these stories are interesting, and this was $4 in nice shape. So pick that up. Okay, this I've never seen before, Exploring the American West, 1803 to 1879. It's a National Park Service book. And let's see, it's written by, it doesn't say. Well, there's different authors, perhaps William Gottsman, Richard Bartlett. Seem to be the two main guys whose names I see there. So this looked like an interesting thing. That was, I think, $4. This was $4. Charlie's Trail. It's sort of a, I never heard of it before, and I have like a lot of books on Charlie Russell, by and about Charlie Russell. And this looks like it's written for young adults. But I've never heard of it. It looked like something I'd like to have. So pick that up. And actually, I looked it up on Amazon when I got home, and it did have a good review. So glad I got that. And there was a note inside that, even though I erased it, that the person who purchased it got it at Wall Drug, which is South Dakota, if I'm correct. And that was in 1998 they had purchased it. Lucky it was in pencil that they wrote, so I was able to erase it. Terry Johnston, Turning the Stars Upside Down. This is a part of a larger series that Johnston wrote. I don't know if he did any standalone books. He pretty much wrote several different series. And this one, this particular book, focuses on Crazy Horse. 1877 maybe. I think I have this in paperback, but I haven't read it yet. And so it's $4 hardcover. I think this is a first edition, and so pick that up. Now this, The West, an illustrated history edited by Henry Steele Commager. This was $1. It was in really nice shape. I didn't find it, actually. My son and wife found it for me. It was kind of hidden away in a corner with dollar books, and seemed like a nice book. Really nothing wrong with it. So for $1, I like that. Now this book here I purchased not too long ago. This will be a reading copy. I didn't even put a broad art jacket on it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm losing focus here. Nice book, images, lots of text, and it seemed like a good reading copy. So, well, that's it for what I purchased today. My wife, she found, I helped her find, like to get like old TV shows, and she had found a Bewitched paperback, TV series Bewitched, and it was $1, and it's rare, nice shape, and some other books like that. So we had a fun time. My son bought books, had some good food, ice cream, and good time. We're gonna go back there. We go every few months. Book Barn, worth the trip. If you haven't been there, Connecticut, Niantic, Connecticut, take a trip. Just don't buy what I want. Take care.